everyone, this is Veronica and today we are going to talk about manufacturing drugs on demand. So what is this whole issue? We'll talk about it. What is drugs on demand and how we will manufacture them? What is the present scenario? What we can expect? We'll discuss that. For my video updates, you can follow me on Instagram, and for the PDF of this lecture, it will be available on my Facebook profile. So guys, right now we are giving flat 60% off till 25th of December. You can opt for our pen drive and Android courses. For additional information, you can visit our website or you can call on these numbers given on the screen. So guys, what is the relevance of this particular topic in your exams? For prelims, you should know what is 3D printing, what is drug API, active pharmaceutical ingredient, what is it? It could be asked from science and technology portion. And for the mains, scope of small drug manufacturing facility, why 3D printing? So 3D printing is in news from last 1 or 2 years, a lot in the current affairs, so it could be asked. So before we start this topic, let me tell you a story so you should know what we're going to talk today. So we'll talk about the complexity of the modern economics, right? Modern economics, how it works. So by tracing, like if we talk about a wooden lead pencil, you all use pencil in your daily life, and when we trace its lineage, like from where it began, from the cedar tree, that it is cut down and shaped into pencil length slats that are smoothened, waxed and then lacquered to the form we can identify, to the graphite that is mined in, for example, Sri Lanka, mixed with clay, tallow and ammonium hydroxide before being extruded and baked into thin black lead that we recognize. So you should know that the number of steps that go into the production of an object as common as a pencil, right? So you should know that we will remark it even though the skill and labor of millions of people have had a hand in manufacture of each pencil. So no one on the planet has the complete knowledge that is required to make it. So while basically it was shown in an essay which was explained, and there's later a concept of the invisible hand in free market economics. It is a handy illustration of the incredible complexity of modern manufacturing, right? So let's talk. So I am talking about the conventional, that how the manufacturing process take place. It is a multi-stage process. So I have just given you an example of a pencil, right, which you have I'm sure you have never thought about it before. So now we'll relate it to our drug market, that what is the challenge in the present manufacturing process. So you know the example I just gave you, that in the days before the Industrial Revolution, all the shoemakers, tailors, carpenters and other artisans, they made very last bit of their products by hand. So everything they made was because they used their hands. There were no machines as such, and very few production facilities were available. So they were capable of producing the entire finished product from the scratch. And today the scenario is different. The process of modern manufacturing at industrial scale involves the establishment of multiple production facilities designed to individually produce vast quantities of components that are themselves designed to be combined in even larger assembly lines into the final finished product. So while this approach has given us the ability to manufacture products at a scale that was completely inconceivable before the invention of these industrial machines, it has left us at the mercy of vast intercontinental supply chains that feed into these production facilities, so that minor variations in the quality and unpredictable disruptions in production anywhere in the chain of supplies can have devastating effect upon the whole line, right? So we'll talk about our pharma industry, where our medicines are made. So manufacturing process we talked about, and now we'll talk about our pharma industry. So see, this is how these changes are impacting this particular industry, and you know pharma industry is very important, medicines are very important for the health of a nation. This is of particular concern in the context of pharmaceutical industry, where non-continuous batch processes are the heart and soul of drug manufacturing process. And most of the manufacturers, they produce API. Okay, API is active pharmaceutical ingredient. They use molecular fragments for it, which are obtained from different sources, right? This API is then mixed with excipients. Excipients are the different combinations which we use in the medicine. API is the ingredient which is the main effective ingredient in the medicine, and excipients are the other thing which make the medicine bulky, because API is very low in quantity, right? So the API is mixed with these excipients in a separate facility, and the final drug product is formulated yet another plant. So you see, this is a complex multi-stage process. It can even take up to 12 months to produce the final finished product, and manufacturing units throughout the supply chain are required to maintain large inventories of intermediates at all steps, right? So this sort of manufacturing process is particularly susceptible to variations in quality and supply. So there's a fact that could literally mean the difference between life and death in an event of an epidemic, when the production of life-saving drugs needs to be accelerated rapidly. And what in present manufacturing system, what happens? It is even taking 12 months to finally make a medicine. Now 3D printing. Basically 3D printing is a technique where we make in 3-dimensional, we make products by layer. We are even making organs where before the surgery the doctors practice on it, and it can even turn into the real organs after little more research. We are making guns, we are making a lot of things with 3D printing. Now let's see what is the scope of this 3D printing in the medicine field, in the pharma sector. So see, the 3D printing, or what we called desktop manufacturing. Okay, it is a desktop manufacturing. Okay, it can revolutionize industrial production, making it possible to produce small batch production. Okay, small batch custom designs. So you see, customized medicine could be given to a small number of patients, which otherwise take a lot of time to build. So recently the excitement has begun to build up around the possibility of a similar approach to the manufacture of pharmaceuticals. So it is likely that machines like this will be able to synthesize many drugs. Eventually in time, all the drugs on World Health Organization essential list could be built by 3D printing. Now let's talk what are the advantages of desktop manufacturing system that we just talked. So it will allow medical staff and small patient populations to only produce those pharmaceuticals that are necessary to meet patient needs. That means small patient populations could be served. Then for drugs with a short shelf life, the ability to manufacture the active ingredient, that is API, on demand removes the requirement to include complex formulation that are included to improve their long-term stability. So we can make short shelf life drugs also without adding more stupid ingredients into it, right? So in a country like India, where healthcare benefits need to reach the far concerns in this vast country, machines that can manufacture essential drugs on demand in rural medical facilities will be invaluable. They will be very important for the country like India. So we are not just talking about this system, but there are important findings by this MIT Institute in Cambridge also. So see what happened, what they have done in MIT. There is a team of scientists from MIT who were able to demonstrate how a manufacturing platform can that combine the synthesis and final product formulation of a drug in a continuous process. So you are, I hope you're understanding the difference. We are talking about continuous manufacturing, whereas in present condition there is non-continuous manufacturing of drugs, right? So they built a single refrigerator. They have made a fridge like thing refrigerator sized unit, basically fridge sized unit, that was capable of synthesizing 4 commonly used drugs. One is Benadryl, you are using it for your cough. There is lidocaine, there is diazepam, there is another drug called fluoxetine hydrochloride, right? So finally they have made it with this unit. Now in time it is likely that machines like this will be able to synthesize many more drugs. Eventually in time, all the drugs on WHO essential list, as I told you. Since this machine is completely reconfigurable, it will possible to be for trained operators to synthesize drugs on demand with basic materials and reagents that are easily available, because right now what they made, these are usually liquid medicines, but I hope with more research and development we'll be able to make the tablets with 3D printing, with and more other kind of capsules and that kind of things. So what are the challenges in applying this technology in present system? First biggest problem is the regulatory framework. So producing drugs this way runs contrary to everything our existing regulatory framework says, because what happens in existing regulatory framework, there is non-continuous batch of process, there is multiple stage, one stage is going here, second stage is going, third stage where the final product is being made. So there are a lot of inspections. Some people will go and inspect this, and those will be passed, will be given to the second stage, these will be inspected. So this is the present, but in continuous process you don't know, a person is just giving instruction on a desktop and the medicine is being made. How will you regulate this thing? That is the biggest challenge. Our laws, like those of countries around the world, are designed to monitor large centralized pharmaceutical facilities through test and periodic inspections, what I just told you. And our regulators simply do not have, like right now we don't have any tools to deal with distributed manufacturing of small dose pharmaceuticals that we are talking through desktop manufacturing and 3D printing. So what could be the way forward? See, given the apparent benefits of this new technology, as you know, this will be very useful for a country like India and for the world, the government would do well to figure out how to redesign regulations. So all we need to do, we need to frame good regulations and strict policies for its adoption. So what could be those? You can comment on our comment box, so we'll definitely see that. So we need to maintain and redesign, or you can say there is a overhaul of regulations would be needed once this is brought into the market. So this is all about today's lecture, and if you want the PDF of this lecture, it will be uploaded on this Telegram channel. Thank you.